Hello! So this is a video I've wanted to make for a really long time. Me speaking about pronunciation and accents in this day and age when English is used as broadly as it is. It's a kind of tricky subject for me because I'm not actually 100% Greek. My father is from Australia, so I've always had this, I felt this burden that I had to speak English pretty much with an Australian accent. But my ties with Australia are kind of flimsy. I haven't been there in years, almost 20 years already. I was born and grew up in Greece, so I had minimal connection with my Australian heritage. That has brought some shame for me. My accent is obviously not native, so I cannot portray myself as native. I can't. I fall somewhere between being a native speaker and an L2 English speaker. That is, having learned English somewhere along the way. I didn't speak English with my father when I was little, although I did go to an English kindergarten, and I mostly got interested in learning English as I grew older by playing video games and reading popular children's books or young adult books like Harry Potter, for example. I'm not unique in that, am I? A lot of people have told me that my accent is kind of neutral, that it's not possible to really tell where I'm from, and I wear that both as a badge of honor and a source of embarrassment, actually, because it's like I should be able to speak in Australian, but I can't, and at the same time this neutral accent really represents who I am and how I use English in my daily life. So, why this long introduction? I just wanted to tell you about all this because there's, especially now on YouTube, when a lot of content creators and YouTubers are actually American, we have this idea now more than ever that the American accent is the correct accent. And it's been like this actually forever, because here in Greece especially, but pretty much everywhere in the world, we get bombarded by American media. So it's how most people actually are introduced to the English language, because most of our movies or TV series are in English. We have this idea that, okay, American English is standard English. So some English speakers may try to emulate the American accent, or I know there is not one American accent. I mean, there are so many different American accents, but these nuances are lost on us. A lot of Greek speakers or international English speakers can't really distinguish the difference between British English or standard British English and what we would hear in an American movie. So now that English is the international language, I just want to support the notion that it's okay to speak English with your native accent. It's okay for people to listen to you speak and be able to tell you're not native, that you're not American, you're not Australian, you're not British, you're not whatever, and it's okay. I really mean it. I'm telling this to myself as somewhere between a native speaker and a non-native speaker. I'm telling this to you, who might be a native speaker yourself, or a learner of English. We don't want everyone to sound American. If everyone's going to be speaking the same language, having these different sorts of accents and these nuances in the language and these things that make that make us sound unique, these differences, as long as since English is now spoken by billions of people, make the language interesting, and they help the language evolve. So if you have a strong accent, the way I do, I think, be proud of yourself. And you know what they say, right? Latin grew into the different Romance languages by people who would use it as their second language and mix it with their native language, which then in the Dark Ages would be different Germanic languages, etc. So as long as communication happens and different strong accents don't get in the way, then it's fine. So this is my message to you, no matter if you're a native speaker or a non-native speaker. Go out there, speak English with your accent and speak it proudly. Because this is what happens when language goes international. It's not just the property of the UK or America, the USA. It's the property of everyone who speaks it. And yes, there are some rules and there are some things you should avoid if you want to be understood either by native speakers or by non-native speakers. But that doesn't mean that you should emulate native speakers. I know that sounding like a native comes with its advantages. In many countries around the world, native sounding people get certain jobs much more easily than other people who might not sound native but might speak English perfectly. But this is not my point. Or my point is that ideally, people who speak English perfectly, even with a strong accent, should have the same rights as native speakers. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening to my convoluted message, and if you're going to take anything away from this video, let it be that you should wear your accent as a badge of honor, whether it's native or non-native, and let it be something that distinguishes you in your locality or internationality, if you will. So, cheers!